for an entry-level DJ, this is perfect, man. You can't even hate that this feature is in this controller because this is a beginner controller. So yo, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy DJ C4. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the vlog. And more importantly, welcome to the very first product review by yours truly. In today's video, we'll be taking a look at one of the best entry-level DJ controllers out on the market today. Today, we'll be taking a look at the Pioneer DDJ SB3. And hands down, this has to be one of the best entry-level controllers out there right now. To be totally honest, for under 300 bucks, you cannot find a better piece of equipment. So let's take a closer look at the Pioneer DDJ SB3. Alright you guys, so straight out the box, this DJ controller comes with Serato DJ Lite, which is an entry-level Serato DJ program that can be upgraded to Serato DJ Pro for a monthly subscription of $9.99 a month, or you can buy the program outright, which I recommend, which I believe in the United States is 130 bucks. So yeah, this is a Serato DJ Lite enabled controller. Everything you possibly could need right here in this little piece of equipment right here. You got your jog wheels right here. If I'm not mistaken, these are 4-inch platters. You have your sampler section right here, your tempo adjust right on the edges. You got your mixer section right here with a 3-band EQ section, filter, your EQ faders right here, as well as your crossfader. So pretty standard right out the box. You got everything you need to get yourself going. There was a bit of controversy with this controller when it first launched. DJ Jazzy Jeff released this controller, a special feature on this controller, which was the pad scratch, which caused a lot of controversy in the DJ world. But to be honest, I think it's a really good feature to have on this controller for entry-level DJs, you know? Now, I will say that this video is aimed more so for those DJs who are inspiring or who are just getting started into the DJ world. This is something that's ideal to start with right here. And it's not too expensive. Like I said in the beginning of the video, this thing comes in at under 300 bucks, which you can't beat for all the features that you get for this controller. Now to start off, you do have your, obviously the input for your laptop will be with USB right on the back. Your audio output will be RCAs, perfect for entry-level DJs. You also have a microphone input right on the back. The microphone does have its own EQ right on the back as well. On the front of the device, right around here, you have your headphone jack, which we'll use to cue your music, and you use your queuing section right along here to cue in your music for channels 1 and for channels 2. Or you can cue the master. Now, like I said, I'm aiming this video towards the new DJs out here, so we're gonna go over the basic things on this controller. Starting off with the cue and play button on this controller, which is really nice. Really similar to those you will see on more advanced level controller Pioneers, or you would see on CDJs. The cue button obviously cues the first cue that you set in your song, and the play button obviously plays the music. Now on to the actual platter of the SB3. As long as you're enabled with vinyl mode, you can use this to pretty much scratch your songs. So for example, if you hold down on the platter, you will be able to use this as vinyl. If you turn that vinyl mode off, this will just sync through the music versus, you know, being able to scratch with it. Now, if you're playing the song, let's go ahead and play this song really quick. Using the outer rim of the actual platter, you will be able to speed up the song with the outer rim or slow it down going backwards. Now, if you disable vinyl mode, you'll be able to do that as well. Going backwards will slow the song down. going forward will speed the song up. But you got to make sure that vinyl mode's off, because if you have it on, it's going to stop it as if you're grabbing the record. Now another cool thing about this controller and the jog wheel itself is if you hold down the shift button while you have vinyl mode enabled, you can fast skim through a song. Like for example, you hold the shift button down and you can move along a lot quicker than you would without the shift button there. This allows you to go a lot faster through the songs itself. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and stop that song. Let's go ahead and go and move forward to the tempo adjust right up at the top right corner of each deck that you have. The tempo adjust is kind of small, which is not a bad thing for entry-level controllers, but it's extremely tight. For example, when you're speeding up and you want to get exact tempos, it's the finest adjustment will get you to where you need to be. But for an entry-level DJ, this is actually perfect. This allows you to go, I believe, up to 25% faster and 25% lower. Definitely do not want any entry-level DJ to be afraid of this tempo adjust, it being so tight to get exact BPM measurements as far as beat matching, because there's always the lucky and most trustworthy sync button right here, which allows you to sync both of your tracks together. But I do highly recommend doing your own beat matching with the tempo adjust because that'll allow you to advance to more bigger controllers. Now those are the basic features of the deck, and both decks are completely identical, deck B and deck A. Moving on to the mixer section of the controller, you have, starting off, your browse button, which allows you to browse through your library within the software to select your song. From there, once you find your song in your library, you can either load to deck A or load to deck B. Onto both of the channel sections, you do have a 3-band EQ, your low, mid, and high, as well as a filter section. I'll give you a brief demo of what the filter, low and high pass filter section actually does. Go ahead and play the track really quick. High pass filter will make it go into a high pass. Then the low pass filter would do the exact opposite. This is a cool feature to have built in right into the mixer section, because that allows for pretty good blends, I would say. Moving down, you have your channel faders, which allow you to adjust the volume of each channel. And right below that, you do have the crossfader, which is a pretty decent crossfader for an entry-level controller. All right, now so on to some of the performance features on this controller. We're gonna start off right here. In the bottom corner, you have a loop section. Very small, but really, really reliable and neat to have on a controller of this level, which has the auto loop feature on it, which is really, really neat. Further up on the controller, you have your effects section. These are software-based effects, which are built-in effects with Serato. I believe you are capable of having up to 6 of the software-based effects on Serato DJ Lite, but this allows you to load up to 3 different effects, and you control them with this knob here. Now, little do you know, even though this is a 2-channel mixer, you are eligible to control up to 4 decks with these buttons right here. You can control up to deck 3 right here, and you can control deck 4 by selecting that. I don't really recommend trying to mess around with using 4 decks. Stick with using 2 just because it can get a bit confusing, be it that you are only able to control 2 channels on your mixer. Once you advance to something bigger like the DJ SX, you will be able to control 4 decks. So let's just start off with the 2 decks we have. But if you are feeling confident, you are able to control decks 3 and 4 on this controller as well. Now, moving on to the performance pads of the SB3. Let's start off with your hotkeys. Straight out the box with Serato DJ Lite, you can control up to 4 different hotkeys. Once you upgrade to Serato DJ Pro, you will be able to control up to 8. And your hotkeys are just points throughout the song that you set. You can set these throughout the song, wherever you want. And you can control up to 4 of those in Serato DJ Lite. Moving on to the effects fade. This is actually a really cool feature that they added. Effects fade is more so if you're when you're fading into another song. Let's play the song here. The first pad right here is a high pass filter, which just goes into a high pass fade. Right below that, you have another high pass fade, but it goes a little longer of a duration, which is pretty neat. Moving on to this control here, you have your low pass fade, which is a shorter version. Short and quick, straight to the point. Right below that, you have the exact opposite, which is still the same low pass fade, but a longer duration. Pretty neat. Moving along is our echo section, which will echo out your song in the beginning here. So this pad right here will echo you out, which is a really neat one. That was actually a pretty popular one that people use. And the one right below that is a little bit different. It's still an echo out, but it kind of loops the section. It starts off with 4 bars, then it goes to 2 bars, then to 1 bar, and it holds it there. This is more along the side of building up to a drop, you know what I mean? So let's go ahead and check that out. And it holds it there. Which is pretty cool. Moving along to the last set of effects fades. Make sure that you have your vinyl mode on if you're going to use this last section here. The first one is pretty much a backspin, which allows you to go into a backspin pretty quickly. And then the one right below that is just a longer version of the backspin. And the song continues to play after that. Let's move along to the pad scratch. This feature right here is what caused the controversy for the SB3, because these are software modified scratches. Now, these scratches do work alongside with your first hot cue that you set in your song. So, for example, this is the beginning of our song here. If we go to our pad scratch, each one of these has its own unique sound and pitch as well. So for example, we got our hot cue set right there. We go to pad scratch and go to our first one, a generic scratch, and we go right below that. It's going to be just a little bit of a higher pitch. Moving on to the next one, it mimics a little bit of, you got a little bit of chopping in there, so that sounds pretty cool. Right below that is going to be just a little bit higher pitch with the same set of chops. Moving along. So it's pretty neat to have these features in here, especially for a new DJ who is not familiar with scratching, but I do understand where the controversy comes in. But for an entry-level DJ, this is perfect, man. You can't even hate that this feature is in this controller, because this is a beginner controller. So moving to the next section, which is our sampler. With Serato DJ Lite, you were able to have 4 different samples. Once you upgrade to Serato DJ Pro, you can have up to 8 samples. And these are just pre-selected samples that you have, or audio, DJ drops, tags, whatever you want to put in here. You can upload these right to each individual section.
You're in the mix with the hottest DJ in Metro Detroit. It's DJ C4.
But that is pretty much it in all of its glory. The Pioneer DDJ SB3 is an amazing controller, especially for someone, like I said, who is new, who doesn't know much about DJing, and just wants to get them a set of turntables or a controller to get started. Right here, this is your go-to right here. Like I said, price point I believe is $249.99, and you can't beat it. You cannot beat it. All right, you guys, that is it for today's video. Don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button as well if you're new around here, and pound that bell so you never miss another product review from yours truly. DJ C4 signing off. Till next time, peace.